What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Shonen Speak Easy. It's your host, L.Q.
And it's Big Chill, aka Landon. You know what it is.
No, there's not a third voice this time. Mura went on vacation, came back, and he is jet lagged the hell out, so we're just going to let him be.
Understandable.
This episode, first off, for starters, thanks to everyone that actually bothers listening. If you want more up-to-date videos and also some shorter versions of said videos, go follow us or subscribe to us on YouTube at Shonen Speak Easy. We actually have it pulled up for all the people that are watching video. We have the podcast here. We have some other videos as well that break down certain topics. And now we can hop into our actual episode. So first things first. Rest in peace, Uncle Phil. And that means that we'll be talking about J. Cole and him sharing his stance on Kanye a little bit. At Dreamville Fest, we all know how I feel about Kanye. We know how both of us pretty much feel about Kanye at this point. Mine being way more harsh.
Yeah.
But also knowing how we feel about J. Cole.
Yeah.
I like J. Cole.
I do too.
I was a huge fan of his at one point. It died down a bit because of the albums just not living up to expectations. But anytime he drops something, I'm looking forward to it.
Of course.
So let's see what he has to say about one of the two people from Chicago that I absolutely fucking hate. Also, by the way, before he even says anything, the company man is the person that's covering this. Hopefully, those that are listening can hear the audio really well. I just thought about that. Let me reshare that again just in case. Because if nobody can hear the audio, I'm going to be screwed.
Yeah.
Let's try it one more time.
But I got love for him, and I really appreciate him.
I know Nick.
Yeah, now the company man is going to cover that statement, but we're just going to let the rest of it play through.
You just feel a way about him right now.
Indeed.
But I got for him, and I really appreciate him. One second. An applause. That's a dope level of compassion right there. If you guys, anybody who's watching who doesn't know who he's talking about, he is talking about Ye. And what he is referring to is that Ye had a song called New Workout Plan on College Dropout. 1 second, pause for the College Dropout. Classic song. I love it. All the mocha latties, you gotta do Pilates.
First of all, classic album, not just
It
classic
is,
song.
man.
Classic album.
That 3-album run, man, in regards to education titles. Oh man. Makes me want to shed a tear, man. Miss those days.
For real. Desperately miss those days.
1 second, applause. That song, when that song came out, like that was a very fresh song to make. Like there's not a lot of workout songs on big hip hop albums at that point in time, and that came out really dope.
And it wasn't even about the workout. It literally was just about women fulfilling their side of the deal of being gold diggers.
Yeah.
Which was even better as a concept. Honestly, it's one of those songs that, like, at first it's kind of like annoying because you want, if you're kind of a hip hop purist or traditionalist, you want that gritty sample. Like, it was a huge contrast to everything else that was out at the time, and even a contrast to what else was on the album. Like, I forgot which song it was surrounded by, but it didn't even sound like any of the other songs in the track listing. So
Yeah,
it was
because you got
huge.
Spaceship, you got Jesus Walks, School Spirit. What's that? The song that you got at the end? 2 Words.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god,
Like,
2 Words is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's just so many classic songs off that album. And if Chris heard me talking about it, he would say, "Oh, well, that's why I say it's the best album." Calm down.
You know, I'm not angry at that take at all. I honestly go back and forth all the time if Late Registration is better than College Dropout. And
I do
a
not.
lot of times I settle on saying yes, Late Registration is better. But I'm not gonna lie, I sit through and listen to College Dropout in full way more times than Late Registration. And it's not because I don't like I said, it's not because I don't like Late Registration at all. I think College Dropout just has more of a draw on me. Because even Last Call, like, I remember Last Call, like almost all 12 minutes of Last Call.
Yeah, Last Call is
ridiculous. Yeah. But anyway, we'll let J. Cole do the glazing here.
great.
And J. Cole flipped that for his first single on Sideline Story. And so he didn't have a hit song. He was stressing out how to what that looked like for him. And he ended up flipping new workout plan. And it became a big song.
Workout.
This is a great thing that J. Cole's describing here. He continues.
He cleared all these fucking samples for me, and you know what I mean? And when that door cracked, I heard some shit that I had heard for a long time. I had been hearing this shit, but I heard it differently that day. It was like, imagine I'm in the bathroom, but I had the laptop in the hotel room on the bed, and I heard this shit coming from the other room.
Yeah, that's how I'm going to play from that. But this is a cool moment.
But yeah, that's basically, that was it. And he goes into playing like the full sample, turning it into the song that we know now, you know, from J. Cole, from Workout. So, I mean, I kind of just wanted to shed some light on J. Cole's being pretty consistent on being the humble, stay out of harm's way guy and giving flowers. Do I really believe it was a terrible time to give Kanye's flowers? Not really. I mean, it made sense in the show. I still hate Kanye though. Like, there's no real going back. He has to do a lot of reforming in his life, but he has done some good. I will say, musically, Kanye has done great things, even past the albums that I care for. I would say he's done great things probably up until Donda, and that's a stretch for me because I don't like Donda. But even the samples that he's lent out, the albums he's produced, you know, that's the reason why some people have a huge draw to him still. But once again, I don't separate the artist from the art because I think that's stupid. Whoever you are as a human being always comes out in your art, and he is a bigoted, anti-intellectual, racist asshole. And I have no reason to support that. Anyway, shout out to J. Cole. Her Dreamville Fest was absolutely fire.
Yeah, it did look pretty fun.
Yeah, it looked crowded.
Yeah, and I hate that, so thank you.
It looks severely crowded. But yeah, that was it for that first topic. I actually didn't really want to do much aside of bring some positive attention to someone before we absolutely start roasting the next person, because
start off positive,
he's back.
Man, you know,
he's back.
Oh, brother.
Ashton Hall has a new video.
Keeps getting more and more outrageous, man.
Yeah, and I think this one may genuinely be my favorite. We just gonna let this play for y'all. And for those that aren't watching video, we'll do a little narration. So right now it says 2018 versus 2025. He's showing what he used to do.
Yeah, basically basically play video games all day with the controller off. So yeah, that's how it starts.
All right, first thing that I noticed, dude's mad at a cutscene. Like, there's nothing going on,
bro.
And he broke that TV. Like, that's not a.
There's like when I see that clip, there's no way that this is not a rage room or something like that he rented out just for this purpose.
Has to be. But that was, first of all, if that actually broke the TV, solid throw. Also, strong controller, PS4.
Yeah.
But in case nobody else noticed, one of the trigger buttons was already missing. L1 is gone. It's not even on the controller. So he was already raging from the very start. But here we go. Wakes up at 11:33 a.m. Snooze the hell out of that. Good Lord, he woke up at 1, pretty much. You know, when I first saw that part, I really thought he was ordering DoorDash. I was like, oh, he wakes up, he doesn't cook, he orders DoorDash. No, bro, his rent is due. It's funny. The TV is magically fixed after he broke it.
Say, come on, man. Like, let's stop it.
Hey, at least he has. So in his fridge, all he has is spinach, diet soda, and water. And I'm guessing he's taking this as like back when I was unhealthy. And it's like, bro, you had a diet soda.
Yeah, stop.
And the only other thing in the fridge was like spinach and vegetables. You're killing me here.
And then your honey bun just happened to be at that perfect position where you can get it.
I know what
Stop.
that's it. Scrolling through Twitter. Okay. All right. I can't get past this. My brain won't let me get past this. Is this not two different phones?
Oh yeah. Oh
Like
my goodness, man.
it's killing me because I was like, all right, he picked up his iPhone.
I'm about to say because I have an iPhone, so I know that alarm that went off earlier. Yeah, that's definitely an iPhone. And
Yeah,
then you
but
switch automatically to an Android. Nah, come on,
yeah,
bro.
that was just, and he's still using it. I was like, okay, that's weird, but whatever. We get off the little things. All right, he tries to play the game again, and then he realizes that that's the end of that life. And now
Hold on.
it switches over to,
So he had enough money for 2 TVs. Is that what I'm getting at?
hey man, he had enough money for a Sennheiser headset. I think that's Sennheiser. I could be wrong, but that's a really high end headset he's wearing right there. But anyway, that was 3 hours of that day. He woke up at noon. His rent was due. He said F it. He ate a honey bun and had a Diet Coke for breakfast and then sat back down and started playing the game again. But now,
Even though his rent was due,
yeah. But now he's up at 4 a.m.
allegedly.
By the way, let's not forget this man actually went to the NFL. So like if those bad habits got him to the NFL, whatever he's doing now definitely didn't keep him there.
Now that you've made it to 10,000, we got to hit 20.
Man, he tried so hard, man, to deliver that line every time, bro. Like it's not organic as that first time, bro. Like you got to come up with something different. That's all I got to say about that.
But once again, like I said, parody and irony. This man is fully in irony. And for anybody that didn't think so the first time, you see it now. I genuinely think this man could possibly go into comedy. If he just did ironic comedy. If he went in there as the musclehead gym bro that does crypto and, and buys 3 or 4 Lambos, why is all of that rhyming? He could actually be pretty successful. But yeah, that's what's going on with Ashton Hall. We probably won't cover him anymore until something ridiculous, like actually ridiculous happens. But I just thought
we're sorry, guys, for so much Ashton Hall content. We're doing exactly we're doing exactly what he wants us to do. Keep helping him go viral and stuff like that off of such ridiculous videos and stuff. And eventually, I think all this viral clips and stuff like that is gonna die down because eventually this act is gonna get old. And the fact that none of this is actually true. Most people don't even have time to do this type of shit.
mm-hmm.
Like, nah, can't keep that shit up.
But I will say he is a black man that has hurt absolutely nobody in the making of what he's doing, which is exactly why I don't mind promoting it.
I agree with you on that. That's a good point.
Yeah, if we go in, this is the reason why I'll never actually consume his full content because he might be some ultra red pill loser, and I don't have to find that out because I can look at this 1-minute video, laugh at it, say it's stupid, and go on about my day. I don't need to do a deep dive on him. I'm not fully supporting anything, but I am giving him my attention because I like to laugh.
Yep.
And I just think some of this stuff is ridiculous. Speaking of...
Get you a quick laugh and move on.
Exactly. And speaking of things that are absolutely ridiculous, look at the Switch 2.
Oh, man.
And this rollout is a hot mess, but it's not all of Nintendo's fault, even though I'm a Nintendo hater. As a Nintendo hater, I watched the trailer, and the first thing I said when watching this trailer, which I'm just going to play it. it's got some good things going on. I saw the design. I said, "Oh man, it ain't
Yeah,
so bad."
it's much bigger.
Yeah,
The Nintendo Switch 2 system can adapt to suit your situation, however you like to
I
play.
like the new rounded dock. I don't know why I like it.
And
I
it
guess
has a fan in it too.
which
In
you know,
TV mode,
awesome move.
use the dock to play on a bigger screen.
But the very first
In
thing I
tabletop
complained
mode,
about when I saw
place your
this,
system however you like.
I said, "Oh, those magnetic controllers are gonna suck."
Yeah, somebody's gonna be doing like this and trying to.
Yeah,
You know.
and it's because kids suck. It has nothing to do with it being a bad design. I think it's a great design choice, but for it to be a family console, I don't think that the magnets work as well as the latches. I thought the full side should have been latches. So like, I mean, the full side should have been railed, and like flip the insert and out. You know, make the railing on the inside of the console, but then like use the outer edges on the controller.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, that's a personal design choice. I think these could still be good, but I just worry about it with little kids because kids, man, kids suck. But you know, that was my first thing that I noticed. But
Using the
after
stand.
that, I definitely
share a
went
controller
straight into this display looks awesome.
It
with a
does.
friend. In handheld mode, play anywhere you go.
I didn't even recognize the Donkey Kong trailer until the second time I watched it, and I think it was because I was still stuck on trying to figure out how I was going to get one of these, if I got one of these, you know, of course, before the price and stuff, and keep Kenzo away from the controllers.
I am definitely waiting as long as possible. I mean, obviously, I like the way it looks. I like the color and the way the screen look, but I just want some different options for colors.
Yeah,
you
I know
can
that's
enjoy
what you
playing
care about.
whenever and wherever you want.
But
All together,
straight up, I don't get first edition anything.
That's fair too.
That's electronic. So that was a wrap from the very beginning. I'll wait
anytime,
6 months to a year.
anywhere. Let's take a look at some features of Nintendo Switch 2 and how it's improved from the Nintendo Switch system.
And given a lifespan, it'll be another 10 years before they come out with a third one. So
True.
At 7.9 inches, Switch 2 has a bigger
Right,
built-in.
we'll skip some of the stuff that nobody cares about, and then we'll go into that display, boy.
Switch, you can enjoy games in greater detail on the 1080p screen.
There you go, 1080p screen.
where's the OLED screen?
Yeah.
The screen supports up to 120 frames per second.
That makes a
allowing
big difference.
gameplay and
Yeah.
supported titles.
Screen, the 120 is crazy good.
The LCD screen is more vivid and supports HDR.
Which I will say, I know that a lot of people are like, this doesn't really matter. And because they really want the OLED screen, I'm not going to lie. I've seen people's hands on. The screen does look better. I will give them that. I'm still very critical of Nintendo, but I will give them that.
Providing more contrast between light and dark areas of the
And
images.
HDR is awesome.
The all-new Joy-Con 2 controllers connect magnetically. Strong magnets keep the controllers firmly attached to the system. Detach your controller easily by pressing the
See.
release button on the back.
That right there, kids are gonna get irritated because they're gonna forget about what you gotta do on the back of the Switch itself.
Yeah,
They're
the
gonna be
release
trying
button.
to pull it. They're gonna be trying to pull it off. They're gonna forget easily.
Kids suck. Kids suck. That was my concern too. I was like, well, how strong is the magnet if you don't press the release? What mechanism breaks if you don't press the release? You know, and can that be repaired? Which obviously no.
Yeah.
The SL and SR buttons
That was
are
one of
big.
my biggest complaints for the first one.
Oh my
The
god,
Joy-Con
yes.
Trying to hold that, like, come on, bro.
It was the great shout out to 8-Bit Dude, because thanks to them, that was exactly why I never had to worry about using those. I bought an 8-Bit Dude controller every chance I got. Shout out to 8-Bit Dude. They're not a sponsor, but goddamn, I wish they were.
In due time.
The
In due
left
time.
and right sticks are now larger.
That was also a complaint of mine too. These sticks are small.
Each Joy-Con
Now
2
this part was wild. The mouse controls on here are going to be a game changer.
Indeed.
because there are some games that it's just better to point and click. It just never changes. It's so much better. But I don't know what games they're gonna use that for, but I know it exists. Like the Civilization games, Sims games. Honestly, some that's not going. It's not going to happen. But of course, first person shooter is always better with mouse and keyboard.
Oh, for sure.
But some of those games with heavy menus to navigate, that mouse capability is going to be awesome.
Controller can be used as a mouse, opening up even more ways to play in compatible games.
Yeah, see, that right there is fire.
Yeah.
Both the left and right Joy-Con 2 support mouse controls, so you can also play certain games using 2 mice, like this.
All right, I'm going to say it.
Speaking my language.
I'm going to say it.
Go ahead.
On the Switch, they premiered the game Arms. Now on this one, they premiered Legs.
Oh, man. That ticket is ready for you whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I'm not going to explain it to people not watching video. You go
By
ahead to watch
adjusting the
video.
audio balance between the ranges, sounds from the built-in speakers are clearer and more natural in handheld and tabletop modes.
Once again, don't care. If it has Bluetooth 5.0, I care about that more because hooking up the Switch to a Bluetooth speaker is actually quite a phenomenal experience, especially if you have like a Bluetooth sound bar or something like that. It's awesome. When I play on PC, when I used to play Monster Hunter Rise, and I would hook up my Switch to the monitor, putting on a Bluetooth speaker was almost better than playing with my actual computer speakers. It's a really cool experience. I don't care about this. Somebody probably does, though. Most kids who play wear like those stupid over-ear headphones anyway. Yes, I'm wearing stupid overhead headphones, but I'm doing a podcast. Leave me alone.
It has a built-in microphone, so you can voice chat with friends anytime via game chat.
This shit here.
Man, you talking about getting people banned day one?
Not only banned, but I'm pretty sure the quality is not going to be that great.
Using technology to filter sounds,
but it's so much better than the app that it used to be. Because I remember when you had to get the Nintendo app on your phone to talk through your phone, and you would have to like have your phone by your Switch. It was one of the worst experiences, and I remember using it once to play Pokemon Unite. Not a good game. And people would be like, turn the game down. Why is it so loud? And I wasn't even talking. It would just be other people in that same chat that had theirs on, or even worse, you could play Pokemon Unite on mobile. And for some reason, you could still run the Nintendo mic app in the background. So you would hear nothing but the game. It was a terrible experience. This is such a great improvement, even though it still may be trash.
Your voice will come through clearly. Even if you don't have a surround sound system, games can be enjoyed with more immersive, three-dimensional sounds, as if it were coming from all around you.
Finally, you can play a first-person shooter on the Switch.
Place your Nintendo Switch 2 however you like with a large, sturdy stand.
Got to give it to him. That's a good move. But also, I'm going to say regardless, it is a pain in the ass to play handheld on a kickstand with a group of people. They will still be huddled around you no matter what.
Because they're going to be like...
I can't really see. Oh, it's worse. It's the worst than Mario Kart and Smash, which are the two games that people can't wait to play.
Yeah.
But it's a terrible experience for Mario Kart. 4 people around a little monitor? Nah, find me an outlet and get the dock. We're putting this bad boy up.
You can move it freely, like this.
Oh, great. So you can hover over it.
In addition to the USB-C port found on the bottom of the system, there's one on top as well.
I do like that. I do like that change.
This is the best change. I swear to God. So, short segue. I was playing, every Friday, I go spend time with family, extended family. And I have little cousins that half the time, I say half the time, they ask where my Switch is, and the other half of the time, they want to play like Uno or something like that. They ask me what board game I brought. Whenever I do bring the Switch, I don't use my Switch that often, and sometimes I forget to turn it off. So I always have to charge it. And I have like 6 controllers, so everybody can play. But that also is a big draw on the battery. And I hate when I want to put it in tabletop mode, and I can't do that because we have to charge it at the same time. And there is no way to charge it and have it in tabletop mode. It's one of the dumbest things about the Switch 1. This alone is like almost a console seller. Like it would get me closer to trading in my Switch 1 for a Switch 2.
It's handy for connecting a USB-C camera or charging in tabletop mode.
Thank God.
That's gonna help so much, man.
Mm-hmm. But I will say, I can guarantee you right now, the charger for the Switch 2 in tabletop mode, the charging speed is going to be ass.
Oh yeah.
I'm guessing max 20 watts. If they have a fast charger, it probably will not be compatible, or it'll kill your battery.
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch 2 comes with 256 gigabytes of internal storage, 8 times that of Nintendo Switch.
Which is crazy because
a huge jump.
Yeah, it's crazy because you would really think that like the amount of space that video games take up now,
that should be the standard.
Yeah.
For storing your game downloads, save data, and more. Reading and writing data is also faster.
Beautiful.
Use the Nintendo Switch 2 dock to connect to your TV and enable up to 4K resolution for compatible games. HDR
for compatible games, which means maybe like 5 games.
Yeah. Had to make sure to throw that in because be like, oh, do you have a compatible game?
Right.
Because I got a 4K TV.
See, I don't. I think we got a 1440p, or it's still 1080p and it's just huge. But yeah, my monitor is a 1440p. That's about as good as it gets.
Nintendo Switch 2 dock has a built-in fan that keeps your system cool. This helps keep performance stable.
Good.
On Nintendo
Plays compatible Nintendo. See, like Nintendo always does this thing where they give you a feature.
Always.
And it's so vague that like if you don't read between the lines, you would just be so excited when it doesn't really make sense. See, like I said, some Nintendo Switch games may not be supported or fully compatible with Nintendo Switch 2. Visit Nintendo website for compatibility information. And I'm going to tell you now, it is very, very confusing. It genuinely makes no sense. Like there's some games and series that have been completely skipped. There's some that are like remasters only, but the original doesn't work, or the original works and the remaster doesn't. It's a cluster. Just fix it.
It did not handle that well at all. You had 8+ years. Like there should be a seamless transition. Like when it comes to backwards compatibility, it should be, hey, any game you drop in there is going to be, playable or whatever.
But as we know, game preservation is dying already.
Yeah.
And Nintendo, one of the biggest killers of game preservation altogether, they emulate their own games on the Switch because they don't have most of the stuff preserved in order to bring it over to Switch. I feel like this is going to happen again, where people are just going to be like, can we emulate it? Nintendo's going to be like, don't do that. That's illegal. And then people are going to say, well, can you make it available for us to buy? And they're going to say, nah,
nope.
Just make sure to get a Switch 1 and play it on the Switch 1. And then people are going to be like, nah, that's stupid. I'm going to torrent it.
What, you like our games? What, you like our past games? Oh, no, fuck that.
No, we're shutting down that whole store.
You can play Nintendo Switch 2 games, as well as compatible Nintendo Switch games. Physical and digital games are supported.
They got to make sure to say compatible.
Yeah, but also, why would you need to include that Switch 2 games work on the Switch 2?
Yeah, I mean, it's a given.
It's a given. Also, every game in this preview outside of World Tour and Donkey Kong is a Switch 1 game.
Yep. Except it's been formatted for Nintendo Switch 2.
I guess. But yeah, that's the trailer for anybody that didn't see it. But then for the thing that we all wanted to see was the price.
Oh boy.
$449 MSRP. In case people forgot what the price of the Nintendo Switch 1 was on launch.
150 less, I think.
Yeah. But I say I'm almost certain it was $300. Let's see. The original Switch MSRP was $299, as we were correct. So I will say, for the upgrades that they did add, for the compatibility they're supposed to have, I think asking for $100 extra would have been fine if they, one, had brought over pretty much all the games, and two, if they didn't screw us all with the next statement that they made.
Yeah, man.
Which was the Mario Kart World bundle was going to be, just $50 more. You get it for the full $499 experience.
The low price of $500.
Yeah. And I know some people are like, oh, I can buy a Rogue G Ally, blah, blah, blah. I'm with you. Because the people that think, well, but you can't play Nintendo games on there. It's like, well, yeah, the Steam Deck, the ROG Ally X, all these games can not only have emulators added to them, but the Steam and Epic Games library is humongous. And then not only that, not having the games that you want to be promised to work on the Switch 2 is also a bit, cause a bit of speculation. But another thing that makes this iffy is if you don't get that game, like if you want to get, let's say you want to get it later in life,
get it individually.
Yeah, you want to get it individually. Let's see if it shows you the truth. Because first of all, this website design is beautiful, but they screwed up right here. Why is this video not playing in high quality?
It's got to be like $60, right? I mean, $60, $70 is usually what it usually costs for most games.
Yeah, man, just a harmless $60, $70 bones. And then you keep scrolling down, and you're like, $79.99 MSRP. But wait, that's not it, people.
Yeah, you see all those asterisks?
Yeah, all those stars and asterisks. If you keep going down, that's a manufacturer suggested retail price. Actual price may vary, but on top of that, the physical copy of the game is $10 more. So that's a $90 game. Granted, will Mario Kart World be able to feed generations with how much replayability it has? Absolutely,
no doubt.
But this is a game that this isn't gonna give you like the Battle Pass or DLC Pass that it may be coming along with. We've seen the Mario Kart DLC. If you pay for Nintendo Online and you got the higher tier, you got all the DLC for Mario Kart while you had the Nintendo Online. Or you could just buy it outright, and I think it was like $30. Me, I got Mario Kart with my Switch, so there was no cost sunk into it. Me paying $30 for all the other tracks and the new characters was the cost of the game for me. But even with that $500 bundle, like, am I really getting the value that I want? Nah, not really. But even worse, Landon, even worse. There was news that all of the United States pre-orders, due to the tariffs, will be canceled because the $449 the $499 bundle may actually not be the final price. Once the tariffs hit, prices will go up. You may be looking at a $550 to $600 Switch 2.
Oh my goodness.
So, if you have your pre-orders already, you might want to act very, very soon. we've gotten reports from 9 to 5 Toys that the console could cost $540 after tariffs, and the Mario Kart bundle ended up being $600. So a lot of people already iffy. They already were accounting for. Let's be real. They weren't accounting for the initial tariffs. They
Keep
were accounting
politics
for
out of our game, man.
yeah, until you want to play Civ 1 through 6, or want to play Sims or God of War, South of Midnight. No, not really, kind of South of Midnight. Any fun game, Fable, Shadow of Mordor, Assassin's Creed, all of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just love the fact you made this statement, because it's definitely coming up. Because outside of this, there's a man that has a lot to unpack about his own life after these tariffs. But what do you think? Are you going to get the Switch 2?
Currently right now, fuck no. Like you said earlier, it'll probably be at least 6 months to a year away from me. The fact that tariffs are about to increase the price too, no, that's a hell no for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I currently have a Switch OLED version, and I got a PS5. That would have to do all the way to 2026, at least for me, because I'll be damned if I pay $600 for a system. I'm just not doing it.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Especially since it's basically the capabilities of a PS4. Like, I'm not paying no $600 for a PS4 Nintendo version.
Oh Jesus! And then we're not guaranteed enough titles to be happy with. There's also speculation about the accessories coming over, which that could be an issue.
Yeah, by the time you buy all the accessories, the system itself, a couple of games, you're probably going to be down at least $1,000.
Yeah.
Easily. And the way that society is going right now, I don't know if people just got $1,000 to just, blindly throw at getting the system right now.
And prices don't drop. That is the crazy thing about Nintendo. Like, people always say, oh, Nintendo games and Nintendo consoles and accessories hold so much value. The thing is, value is always like an arbitrary thing.
Indeed.
So seeing that the value is mainly arbitrary, a lot of people have to give said thing that value, and a lot of people didn't see the Pro controller being worth its value. They don't see a lot of people start buying third-party controllers. They start buying up third-party Joy-Cons, which were garbage. All of those were garbage.
Yeah, a lot of shit ones out there, man, for sure.
But as far as the controllers and buying games secondhand, that was the move. So I really hope that
I think almost all my Switch games that I bought were secondhand. I think I only bought one that wasn't secondhand.
Yeah, I think mine was. I think Kirby Forgotten Isles, Forgotten Lands. I can't remember, and it's sad because it's probably like my second favorite game on the Switch ever. That game and Pokemon Legends Arceus, which did not really enjoy that game that much. Those are my only like 2 retail purchases. No. 3. It was a Super Mario 3-pack, the one that has Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and
Galaxy.
And I actually need to play Galaxy.
I think it's 3D All Stars. I think that's what it was called.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that one I definitely purchased because I was like, ooh, limited run.
Yeah, limited run. It's a collector's item, and if you try to buy that now, the prices went up for sure for that.
Yeah, I figured. But that's the thing that sucks about the value holding. It's like it's arbitrary. So let's be honest. If that game isn't compatible with Switch 2, does that drive the value up? No. So they have their own conundrum. But once again, I always say Nintendo is a toy company that just so happens to accidentally have great IPs for video games. And that's what they want to focus on. And the way that they merchandise things is exactly the issue. But I hope the best for them. I'm not buying this shit. I'll take that $500 and I'd rather upgrade my PC. Or honestly, I'll get a Series S and just have it in the living room and use Game Pass to download games. Like there is no replacing Nintendo, but you can't pirate it. So
Please
there's
don't
will,
sue.
there's a way.
Please don't sue. Please don't sue.
Yeah, they don't have to sue. I didn't do anything. I'm just saying, if there's a will, there's an illegal way. I mean, just a way.
Yeah.
But
But
speaking
nah,
of
like, when it
yep,
comes to like Nintendo, like that's always been my gripe. Like I've been a Nintendo fan basically since I was a child, and the fact that it feels like the fans are always punished for liking them as a video game, system of choice makes zero sense to me. Like if you're that successful, why are you always constantly trying to just take it out on your fans? Oh,
every single time.
you like our system, you like our game? Well, fuck it. We're gonna charge you double.
Exactly. And speaking of being charged double,
Ouch.
there's a man that wants to start this out for us. And I don't know what his name is, but he sounds like Little Richard.
His name is Damn Fool.
Exactly. And this is what he has to say about being charged double.
I voted for my own job law. Like a damn fool.
Yeah.
I'm ashamed to admit I won't do that again.
That's probably what he said the first time.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing that cracks me up is like this
He
man
will
was
do
not
it.
too he wasn't too far away from the protest. Like that's the funny part. He was not far away from where they were protesting at all. So it just made it even better. He's like standing outside the club that he could have got in, but then he also created the club that he's in. He created the purpose for these people. And someone did say in the comments, like, no matter excuse me.
Blush.
Thank you. No matter how much this man acknowledges his mistake, he should have known better. He's literally from the civil rights era.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's an obvious one. I don't see how you come from where you come from. You see the things you see.
I voted for my own.
And then you just proceed to still vote for this guy. And but also, the whole time, me and you had been talking about this, and I was complaining hard. People don't understand. I really stay aware of things that go on in politics, so I'm often not in a great mood, just to be real. And I kept saying, if people just knew what a fucking tariff was, they wouldn't vote for him. If people just knew what the fuck a tariff was. And I've been saying that for a long time.
Hey, but we're gonna have all the countries pay for them, bro. We don't have to worry about that.
And
So.
the people that did Google what a tariff was after I yelled at them, and after I continued to tell them that tariffs were a bad thing, and that voting for him, if there was any reason to not vote for Trump, that you should probably vote to keep money in your pocket, those people were a part of that huge group that had that, was it 3,000% increase on Googling how tariffs work after the election. They were those people.
Which is crazy to do research after the election, but whatever.
And you know why? Because it's the same way that when people have like their favorite sports team, like people waited until Kobe was on a downturn in his career to see if what happened in Colorado was really his doing. Or, they waited until Tom Brady went to the Buccaneers to see why he got suspended from the Patriots and see if he really deflated those balls and what illegally happened. When you're a fan of a team or you're a fan of an idea, you really don't care to challenge your own perception. And I get mad at it because people that support Trump want you to do that, even though there's not much to look into. Like, you kind of have the idea of what's going on already, what he stands for, because you just listen to him. And if you just listen to him talk, you get a good idea of the words that he uses and how he uses them. And the other people that are just like fully on board of supporting him don't look into anything. They really don't. Or they'll say they do real research, and then they'll go on TikTok and doom scroll his side, like the conservative side of TikTok, and then they don't challenge or look into anything these people are saying. The reason why I don't really like politics on my TikTok page or like on my For You page on any platform outside of the few people that I do follow, the main reason why I don't like it is because I have to spend the rest of my day fact checking all of these people. Because I don't just consume the information and then regurgitate it. So that's why I had, like, whenever my friends would ask me, so what, so how do tariffs work? I gave them historical evidence of how tariffs work. Or like some people, I gave them the counter argument of like, when somebody else tells you about tariffs, they're going to tell you how it worked during the Great Depression. And, and how it's not always bad. And I'm going to tell you about every other situation historically where tariffs have sucked. Do we still have some now? Yes. Checks, balances, keeping power in check, all this stuff. Free market, open trade. Yes. Resources we have compared to resources we don't. Absolutely. But raising those tariffs and tariffing other countries is not good. And now everybody gets to see how it's not. Thanks for being late to the party. And now the people that don't care about politics see that it's affecting them in real time. We just told you about how the tariffs are going to change Nintendo and how your 450 console that everybody was already pissed about may end up being 540, or at worst, the bundle is at 600. This is also the index is now at an 18.9% below its most recent high in February, closing at 20% decline that defines a bear market. Now, for those that don't understand that, just to put in layman's terms, the stock market dropped really bad. The fact that the way that tariffs usually are implemented is saying that they'll be enforced 3-4 weeks out, so a lot of businesses get a chance to allocate resources, figure out different trade routes, figure out different buyers for any materials that they have, if they got to move a factory somewhere. And they didn't have that ability. So a lot of other countries are also selling off, like Japan's Nikkei saw a broad sell off on Wednesday morning. Other Asian markets were braced to the falls. Japan, I think, did a hard stop on their market, which they said has only happened like once or twice before. China has lifted all of their copyright infringement laws, so now they can counterfeit just about any American product in order to counter those tariffs. So China is like, we don't care. We'll fight to the end. You want to be isolated, we'll make you suffer. And Japan and other countries are just like, you know what? We don't even rock with China. And trust me, ask any person from any of the neighboring Asian countries, well, not neighboring, well, I'll say any of the other major Asian countries, like Japan or North South Korea, they don't rock with China. The fact that they actually sat there, shook hands in solidarity with China about going against the U.S. market is bad. It's a bad sign. It's also a reason why you don't screw over your allies and you also keep your enemies close. But, nevertheless, Trump thinks that basically tanking the market is going to be good for our country, which is a lie, because rich people buy up all the resources in a bad market because they have the capital to do so. And then when things start to level out, which they do, but they take a long time and usually do not level out for the middle class, all the rich get richer, and the only people that lost money is us. Why? Because we have to consolidate our money. For those that don't know what that means we have to put our money in less places so we can actually maintain it and have it. And then those rich people come in and say, those stocks dropped 30% at $750 a share.
You buy a whole bunch.
Exactly. I can buy there's 5,000 shares available. Why don't I buy 3,000 of those? That's the thing that they do. And this is the reason why I really wish somebody would whoop his ass. But it's not going to happen. And for those that are suffering in the market and they don't care for politics, this is your sign to care. For those that are suffering and you do care about politics and you definitely didn't vote for him, I'm sorry, but this is also, time for you to take action and do something. And also a time for you to educate those around you and build a community. And honestly, if you have to, I've been looking into using my space for gardening. I want to grow something. Pomegranates. We have a banana tree, but I want to start growing some pomegranates, maybe cucumbers, some aloe vera. I'm really starting to get into the idea that like the only way that you will be able to sustain yourself in an economy that is supposed to be one of the greatest economic powers in the world, when it continues to drop like this, it is, the time that people speculate and they're in fear and they're scared and they're angry. And trust me, I'm two of the three. um,
Same.
the thing you have to do is learn to navigate within a world where money doesn't really mean as much, and the things that are easily accessible are now less accessible. And I am definitely way more concerned now that I have a kid. If it was just me and Dalen, we weather this out. I just stream every day to make some extra money, some extra ad revenue. I would probably record more music. Honestly, I probably start learning how to mix and master a lot more and just do that for people. But yeah, it's going to take a lot of adjustment. And people will finally realize that it's a lot heavier than what they think when they start seeing that if you got your next upgrade for your cell phone, instead of you paying $25 a month to have the new iPhone, you're now paying $42 a month. And also for people that have free upgrades for your phones, go get them now. Go get them now
Yeah.
before they actually start costing money. Like, don't wait.
Because my thing is like, I had predicted months ago that shit was gonna get bad in the summertime, but I guess Trump said, "Nah, fuck that. I'm increase the deadline and make it during the springtime." And like for those, I don't care what side you're on, Republican, Democrat, regardless, you should feel some type of way on both sides because time and time again, we've been let down by the government. Whether you elect someone who has no idea about how to run a country twice, and even the people who do know how to run a country technically are too old. We got to get more, new blood in there. We got to get younger people in there, and put these fools in a nursing home like they should be.
Absolutely. Or put them in a headlock. Whatever you got to do.
That too. Or if you knock
Because
them
again,
down, it's gonna take them years to get back up.
yep. Also, if anybody stays within the 10-mile radius of Greg Abbott, please remove your stairs.
Mm, 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 mm.
Don't allow him access anywhere because he's a part of this stuff too.
Yep.
But yeah, a lot of things unpacked there. But on the flip side, we can get back into we can get away from gaming the system back into gaming because there's a specific game that I wanted to talk about, and that is South of Midnight. I am so happy to have this game. I'm so happy that
I have not heard of it until you brought it up, so go ahead and sell me on it.
I got you. So, do you remember the PS3 era games where you play like the original God of War, Sly Cooper, Jack and Daxter, things of that nature?
Yep.
All right, so take those ideas,
I
and
love those games.
for all my PC gamers, think of Kena and the Bridge of Spirits. Put that into the American South in Louisiana. Build a story that is close to Tales of Kenzara, where it talks about grief, loss, and the stories of love and betrayal, and mesh that into a world that looks like it's been directed by Tim Burton, and you have South of Midnight. South of Midnight is now. Let me be very fair here. The game that I have anticipated the most this entire year was Monster Hunter Wilds. Following that was the re-release of what's the game of Shovel Knight, because now Shovel Knight has like super cool multiplayer and you got like way more characters. Third was Hyper Light Breaker. Fourth was South of Midnight. I saw the trailer, I saw the stop motion. I said, "Oh my god, this game is probably going to be good." And, with it being the fourth, mind you, 3 of the games have already released this year. Monster Hunter Wilds came out first, Hyper Light Breaker was second, and South of Midnight is the third one. I have played them all.
Been
This
good
is
for
the best
you.
one.
A good year for gaming for you so far.
It sort of.
It's
The biggest letdown of this year actually came twofold, sadly. Playing Monster Hunter Wilds on PC, it runs kind of like shit. And that is the biggest drawback. It is still one of the best game series of all time. It is still a very fun game. But the way it runs is terrible. As a matter of fact, I want to show y'all something. Let me show you. This is my wish list for Steam. The games that I didn't have are still on here. So, like, you can see South of Midnight is number 2. Shovel Knight's number 1. Not lying. If you look at my library, I already have Hyper Light Breaker. I'll just show you. Just so people know that I'm keeping it real. Let's see, where is it? There's Hyper Light Breaker. There's Monster Hunter Wilds. You see I got 36 hours in Monster Hunter Wilds. I have 27 minutes in Hyper Light Breaker. I'll explain that shortly. I have sat here and played South of Midnight already for 3 hours straight. It is a game that is not overly complicated. It's a great action adventure. The story is beautiful. I'm not spoiling anything here, but there's already a loss in the first, at the very beginning. It's her and her mother preparing for a hurricane. You realize that her father has passed away, and they bring up going to grandma's house. Go stay in Bunny's house. And you're like, who the hell is Bunny? And Bunny is her grandma. And you're like, why can't they just go stay at Bunny's house? She got this big old house. They're gonna be protected from, they'll be protected from the storm. And you realize that Bunny never approved of the mother and father's relationship. The main character's name is Hazel, and they never approved of Hazel's parents' relationship. And one of the reasons why, you'll realize, is Trey Flood, Hazel's dad, is white and Creole, and her mama is black, just black. And the part of the story that you get this is really like the first 15 minutes maybe. Very early on, you realize that the trauma that Hazel's mom bears from working in she's a social worker, and her working in social work and having that trauma, she tries to shield Hazel from having to take that on, and because she has a very hard time separating her work life from her personal life. And in doing that shielding, she spends less time connecting and communicating with Hazel, and Hazel often feels abandoned and alone. And then, the hurricane hits, and Hazel is alone. And it's like a journey of self-discovery, a journey of, love and dealing with loss. I think this game, the complaints that it's going to get is about the combat, because it's a little streamlined. Like I said, it's like Jak and Daxter, Jak and Daxter, the old school God of War, kind of I would say a close to beat 'em up style. But please, for anybody that hasn't seen, for anybody that's played Kena and the Bridge of Spirits, the combat is very similar. It's just not dealing with, that Souls-like parry, like very time-consuming parry system or stamina gauging. You don't have to deal with that. But the game is excellent. Is the platforming very simple? Yes. Duh. It's an action-adventure game. I don't need it to be super complicated. Are the puzzles pretty easy to figure out? Yeah, but honestly, I like that because I don't have a lot of time in my life to be stuck on stupid puzzles. And also, L.Q hates puzzles. But overall, this will probably, when I beat it, because I'm committed to beating this game, it probably will be my top 3 game of the year. This was my sleeper pick. That's why I ended up in my top 5. My mainstream pick was Monster Hunter Wilds. And, I would say my indie pick was Hyper Light Breaker. And Hyper Light Breaker ended up launching terribly to a point where I could barely play it.
Damn.
And then it also, then I mean, genuinely, I couldn't play it. They had to do an update just for me to be able to launch the game. But on top of that, it ended up being a roguelike, which I know a lot of people were like, "Yay!" But me, on the other hand, I was like, "Ugh, not another one." I do have a few more sleeper picks for the year. Haste Broken Worlds just came out. I'm about it probably next week. And the Nightling is another sleeper that may be a big one this year. And Schedule 1, of course, a lot of people playing Schedule 1.
Yep.
Schedule 1 is not going to be my game of the year, but it is fun. But having a good gaming has been in a good space this year. I've played a lot of demos for games that should be coming out this year, and I can't wait to play those. Is this seat taken for anybody that watched me play that on stream? We all are anticipating that game. It's just such a fun, easygoing, cozy game. But yeah, so far, man, South of Midnight is kind of running away with my game of the year choice. Just based on how engaging the story is, and also it's just fun.
Is it on consoles or just like Steam or something?
Oh, it's consoles and PC. It's actually on Game
okay.
Pass. I'm playing it because I have Game Pass.
Gotcha.
What usually will happen is when I beat a game on Game Pass that I really like, I usually buy it on Steam, or if you follow Call Me L.Q on Twitch, I do giveaways. So for some people that weren't a part of that crew, I streamed what was it? Hi-Fi Rush, and I beat Hi-Fi Rush live. I gave away 3 copies of that game after I beat it because it's genuinely one of my favorite video games of all time. Gravity Circuit also gave away one of those as well. So yeah, for those that I can hear that, by the way.
Oh, my bad.
It's all good. But for anyone that is interested in watching me play it, I'll probably stream it, but my streaming schedule is kind of busy because I only stream once a week. But yeah, overall, outstanding game. If you get a chance, play it. Don't let any of the negative scores deter you just because it's not some huge open world, complicated, 10-tier upgrade system type of game. Doesn't mean that it's not extremely fun. And you'll even see,
I mean, when it comes to like games, sometimes like obviously I like a challenge in games and stuff, but it's okay to not have a daunting task, like God of War, Ragnarok or whatever, like all the different puzzles and all the different things that you have to, go through in that game. It's okay to, take a break somewhat, have a game just like that. And shoot, I might play my damn self, so
it's definitely worth it. I think it's worth it. It should be on every single console. Oh, of course, outside of Switch.
I got you.
But yeah, good game. And it's also, according to Steam, because Steam usually does MSRP, it's $40. So it's not even the full, $60, $70 game. And
it's
it looks
not
really
$90?
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Oh, I just had to make sure to bring that up. Anything else you want to chat about? Because I definitely dominated that one, and it's only because I'm the only one that played it.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I was asking questions, because I had never heard of it until you brought it up. So, I like usual when it comes to mental health. I know that's something that we've tend to focus on or whatever, closing out and stuff. But obviously, with the way society is going right now, whether it's financial struggles or physical, mental, all the other stuff. Like, it's a lot of stuff that people go through on a day-to-day basis. And I just urge everybody, like, if you have a good support system, hey, hold on to it tight. If you don't, try to get you one. Because we're only in, a few months of this presidency. And I'm not going to just say it's just because of him or whatever. Because I feel like both sides have basically made this culmination of this disaster that we're going through right now. So I just urge everybody, hey, let's try to, unite as much as we can. And for the people who don't want to, hey, if you lose a lot, that's all on you.
Yeah, I'm 100% with that.
It's a
I
fire
had to show you the new
fire
background.
wallpaper. Sheesh.
Thank you. But as always, look out for your mental health. Be aware, research, challenge your own opinions and views. I'll also say, see us on all platforms. Shonen Speakeasy is just about everywhere. For me in particular, you can see me streaming on Twitch and on YouTube. I post clips on TikTok. We appreciate everyone that decides to sit through with us.
Yeah, come on to the
And
stream so you can troll them like I be doing.
yeah, they've been getting me good. But also we got some awesome clips too. Like there's some funny stuff that goes on. We also have a clip surrounding Landon too, so that was funny. No, a couple.
Yeah.
Couple. Yeah. The one from Cult of the Lamb is probably the best one.
Man, sheesh.
But also new music coming soon. I'm actually working with two artists on a song, and one of them is a West Coast artist. I'm almost certain he's from West Coast. I gotta ask him again. But yeah, Odin Crimson is a great young talent that I have been so excited to do a song with, and I finally have one coming up with him. I've posted more of my music on YouTube for those that were asking, and then also for those that proceeded to ignore it after asking.
That's just how it is, unfortunately.
It is. People don't want to hear new rappers, and I'm so okay with that. But come by, listen to the podcast, and watch the stream. I get paid more from streaming, and that helps me fund other things such as making music and also doing a podcast. But anyways, yeah, take care of yourself and those around you. Love yourself and love those that love you the most.
And jump on the train right now while you can.
Absolutely. Call me L.Q. Shonen Speakeasy. We out.